This is TWiT.
So unless you're a copyright wonk, you might not have been aware that there is a designated week each week. I think Kyle Courtney, law librarian out of Texas, may have been the brainchild of coming up with Fair Use Week. I don't think this is the first year that it's happened. Sarah, do you know more about the background than I do?
It's definitely not the first year, but I don't actually know the history of it. It seems like the Association of Research Librarians is heavily involved. I don't know if they were the impetus for it originally or not, but I know they're doing a lot of work on it this year and kind of corralling everyone to make sure people are blogging about it and planning events and that sort of thing. But I don't know if they were the originator.
Right. So it's a week to bring attention to the doctrine of fair use and to highlight examples of fair use in action. And there's been a lot of blogging on the topic. There are a lot of good examples to talk about just this week. Just yesterday, for example, we're always just so thrilled when we can bring things like llamas into the show and actually have a copyright basis for doing so. I bet you are wondering how I'm managing to pull that together. Well, Kyle Courtney, the dude who is behind Fair Use Week, highlighted a wonderful video, and I'm sorry I didn't let the studio know I wanted to play a bit of this before we started the show, but hopefully we can pull it up because, of course, unless you were nowhere near a computer or television screen yesterday, you know that mama and baby llama were rampaging around Phoenix and causing much concern in rounding them up and much lack of productivity in anybody's work life. Okay, so it's the second video, not the GIF, however we were deciding to, yes, that one. Here's a bit of fair use for you. We need the volume. But the whole notion behind fair use is there are 4 factors, and we would have to go through the whole legal analysis of that one, and maybe we should. We've got, after all, a copyright scholar on here with us. We've got the obviously, what's it called? I think Yakety Sax is the Benny Hill theme song, and llamas. And so we've got a newsworthy story, or apparently it was newsworthy. It was all over CNN yesterday, interrupting their terrorism coverage. We've got a copyrighted work from an old TV show mashed into glorious entertainment. What do you think, Debbie? Is it fair use?
Well, I would love for it to be fair use, and I think that we should structure our fair use doctrine so that something like this could be considered fair use. And of course, I watched the whole video yesterday because it's adorable, and why would you not want to watch llamas rampaging around the city streets? And it's even more clever because of the way the music is merged with it. So this is something that different scholars like Jerry Jenkins have called convergence culture, or what people call user-generated content. Much of what goes onto YouTube are these kinds of videos. So something that somebody has taken or found and clipped and merged and created something new, oftentimes with a soundtrack. And so one of the sort of key factors for fair use, right, is the amount and substantiability and substance of what you've taken. So the question for this, well, assuming that the person who presented the video owned the video footage itself, is how much of the music itself was used and whether that would violate one of the prongs of fair use. So the problem, of course, with fair use is that we have to wait for a court to decide that. YouTube may decide on its own if it were to be put on YouTube by taking it down if they received a notice that they had to under the Digital Millennium Copyright notice and takedown procedures. So it's despite the fact that we want fair use to be something that allows for creativity and sharing of knowledge and entertainment, oftentimes we can get bogged down in those details.
Right, and I
So
think
there's no
it's,
easy
it's-
answer.
Right. No, you were making it way too easy by saying, "Oh, let's just assume that the video is owned by the person who posted it." I don't think we can assume that at all.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So there are multiple layers of potential copyright violations, and yet the end result is this very clever video that clearly went viral, that everyone enjoyed watching, that nobody was trying, as near as I can tell, to make money or to monetize. And so there's lots of different dimensions to how we look at creative culture in a digital age that still need to be addressed, and we're using tools that were not created in a digital age to do it.